Hello again and welcome to another edition of Shed Talk. Firstly, can I apologise for the gap between the last video and this video. Unfortunately, right at the end of recording the last video, my camera decided to pack up on me, and whilst it was still recording, I couldn't actually see what the image was that it was recording, so it just became too difficult. And in the meantime, I've been waiting for another camera, or trying to get another camera, which I have done. It's very similar to the last one, so I'm hoping the picture quality is going to be as good. Please do let me know. As you can see, the birds are in very talkative mood at the moment. In the last video, I said I was going to look at the online database that I use to record the birds in this video. I decided to change that because, as the title of this video suggests, I've had a bit of a setback in the bird room, and I'll just talk about that now. Well, you'll probably remember, those of you who have watched previous videos, that the yellow-face sky blue cinnamon cockbird that was one of my better birds in the shed had filled a whole load of eggs on with a new hen. Everything was going very well. Hen was feeding, cockbird was feeding, which was unusual for him because normally he had sat back and just let the hen do all the work. And chicks were growing nicely, and then completely out of the blue I lost the second oldest chick. It had gone that horrible purple colour and was just dead in the box. Removed that, and I was really touching wood that this wasn't going to lose the whole nest, but as these things often happen, I then lost another chick, followed then by the yellow-faced cockbird. He had shown no signs of stress when he was feeding, but he was just dead in the nest box. What followed was I lost all of the other chicks apart from the oldest chick. So nest box almost completely devastated. Well, I was completely devastated. I was really worried because the hen seemed to lose interest at this stage. She only had one chick in the nest box. I had nowhere else to put it. It was just too old to move it to another nest, and so I had to just try and persevere with it. It also was growing very, very slowly, and it looked as if, to me, as if it wasn't going to make it anyway. It was just going to be underfed and eventually lose it. So what have I done? These setbacks happen, and it really, at the time, it just feels like such a disaster. But one of the problems with keeping livestock is that sometimes you end up with dead stock, and you just have to try and learn from this, which is what I've tried to do. I've tried to put it behind me and go forward. The remedial action that I've taken is that I've obviously taken the nest box off that one, scrubbed the cage out, I've scrubbed the nest box out, I've scrubbed all the nest boxes that are around it that didn't have eggs in them out as well, and given the whole shed, or this bit of this shed, a really thorough clean. I've hoovered everywhere, tried to get rid of much of the dust as I can do. I've soaked the nest boxes for 24 hours in avian disinfectant. I'm hoping that will get rid of anything that might have been in there. And that's where I am now. So the other thing I've done is I've broken up a couple of pairs. So the pair 1, that you'll remember hadn't produced anything, has also been split. So that pair's now gone, and I'm looking to repair up that cockbird, and we'll have a look at that in a second. And also what was in my pair 6, that again had produced eggs but all clear, or just when they had hatched they had died. I've split that pair up, and I've got a new pair to go in there, a brand new pair to go in there. So that's where I am with the birds so far. Like I say, these things happen. It feels like a disaster at the time, but who knows. Good thing is that I still have the blood of that cockbird, or the genes of that cockbird, in the nest, and we'll talk a little bit about that as I look at the new pairs. So I've considered the setback I've had and the remedial action I've took in terms of cleaning. I thought we'd have a look forward, because out of all these setbacks, the idea is to, you know, learn from them, put them behind you, and then start again. So this is the pair that's going to replace the pair 6, so the pairing cage 6. The hen on the is the light green on the left, is a proven hen. The only problem I have with this one is she does sit very tight, and she can, if I'm not careful, you get a bit of splayed leg with the chicks from this one, so I need to keep an eye on that, and if need be I'll foster the chicks out if I've got the opportunity to. The cockbird on the right is an untried cockbird. It was a late bred, I believe, or 2020, so is just reaching maturity. I say reasonably late bred, not right at the very end. Has been displaying and looks in excellent condition in the cock flight. Not showing much interest in the hen there. He's much better than the hen, but at the moment, in terms of hens in condition that haven't been in the breeding cages, she's the best that I've got. So, and if we get something off her, then all the best. Unfortunately, both cinnamon. So that's going to be the new cage 6, so the new pair there. This pair, as far as I'm aware, this pair isn't related, but I needed to double check going back a little bit further in their histories. But I don't think the cock or the hen are related in any way. So I've been saying for a little while I needed to split pair 1 up. You'll recognise the cockbird here. This cockbird is the cockbird from pair 1. I really do want to get something off him. He's coming to the end of his breeding, or his maximum breeding capacity, I suppose, being a 2018 bird. And I do like, as I've said before, I do like the look of him. I'll just try and come out a little bit so you get a better view. Still getting used to this camera. And the hen on the left, the opaline, she is actually his niece, and she is the daughter of the yellow face, or is a daughter of the yellow face that we lost just recently, that I spoke about in terms of the major setback. So I'm hoping this pair will connect really well and produce me some really nice offspring. I was actually, or the plan is for the hen to go to a friend of mine who's just starting up. So, but because of lockdown, I've not been able to give it to him, which is a bit of, I suppose, serendipity for me. That it means that I can probably get a couple of rounds off her before she goes. And yeah, so that's this pair. Once again, as I say, it's uncle to niece. So we'll see how they go. New pair 1, so these 2 are going into cage 1. Well, I've just got to get the nest boxes ready for the new pairs. I think I did a video on how I set up the nest boxes, and I'll put a link to that across the top of the screen now. In the meantime, don't forget, if you do enjoy the videos, you can subscribe to the channel, and if you want early notifications, do hit the bell. So the next thing, I suppose, is, well, we're focusing on the look forward, you know, new pairs being paired up. Let's go and have a look at what we've got rather than what we haven't got in the nursery flight. So here's a few of the birds in the nursery flight. The ones that still got a fair bit of down on it, like that cinnamon light green there, those are the ones that I mentioned, I think, in the last video, that were being plucked by their parents. They're all feathering up again nicely. The rest of them are, the birds are down on the bottom of the cage at the moment, or feeding on the soft food. I'll see if I can get a close-up of those. before I do, here's that cinnamon grey-green that I said looked quite promising when it first came out of the box, just starting to go through its molt, an early molt. Not happy to be videoed by the looks of it. I'll just see if we can move down a bit. There she is with an old cockbird. I think it is going to be a hen. So we're still reasonably pleased with this one. Looks like it's going to go coming through the molt all right. And there's the rest of them down, all picking at the soft food. The youngest one is the one to the left, or centre of the video at the moment, cinnamon sky blue. Did look very, very tiny, and at one stage I didn't think he was going to make it, but actually now is holding his own in the nappy flight, so this is of course good news. How many of those will be keepers, I'm not sure. I think I've identified 2 hens in there, so they will both be keepers for the time being. So positive. We have some chicks from this year. And the final thing I thought we'd have a quick look at while we're looking at the youngsters is the surviving chicks out of cage 5. So this was the oldest of the chicks, the one that I thought wasn't going to make it. It's actually feathered up quite well. It looks like, to me, like he's going to have all its flight feathers, which is of course one of the big concerns with the loss of chicks in the nest box, I suppose the French molt side of it. But this, it does look like it's going to have all of its flight feathers. Whether it's going to be a decent enough bird to keep, I still don't know, but it's coming on all right, and I'm glad I didn't euthanize it at the time. Of course, I will put on the record that it was part of a group of youngsters in a nest box that all suffered illness, so that I can keep an eye on it when I do put it down to breed. Well, that is just about all we've got time for in this video. Once again, I apologise for the delay in getting, or the delay between videos. Hopefully I'll get the video on the online database out within the next week and a bit, is what I'll be looking at doing now. I've got a new camera. I should be able to do that quite quickly. But until then, as always, please do stay safe and enjoy the birds.